back to AM Live. If you've seen people doing crazy jumps over railings and through cities with effortless grace, they may be trained experts in parkour.
Otherwise, it's just crazy people. But this is a form of movement that stresses efficiency, agility and speed while negotiating obstacles in between using acrobatic moves.
Yep, it's no joke. It's developed from military obstacle course training sessions in the late 90s. Parkour has become increasingly popular, with it being featured in films like James Bond's Casino Royale and Prince of Persia.
And now it is gaining traction in the region. And in Singapore, 3 training schools have been set up in the last 2 years to cater to the growing number of enthusiasts here.
So this morning we have with us Derek Su, the founder of Superfly Monkey Dragons Parkour Free Running Academy, to tell us more. Very good morning, to you. What an interesting title. Anyways, parkour, how would you define it?
I would say a lot of people just look at it and they see just the physical aspect of it. But I really think it's a discipline that works at developing one's mentally, physically and spiritually through the art of motion.
How so?
Well, okay, let me explain the kind of like the elements. The first one, in terms of mental, a lot of the moves, as you see, they're very scary. I mean, you see these massive videos, people doing these big stunts.
Right.
All right, that's obviously very scary, but pulling that right back to the basic moves, even when I first started, a simple move of just jumping over a rail, that was scary to me. So you have to learn how to manage your fear. So that's a mental aspect. Then obviously the physical aspect, because a lot of the moves require a lot of coordination, that requires balance, it requires strength, so you have to develop yourself that way. And then once you have kind of got some competency in parkour, then you start experiencing a kind of a spiritual part of it, which is when you get flow, when you join movements together and you have this nice flowing movement, the gracefulness that you just mentioned, and you kind of become one with the environment, as well as you just totally have to be in the moment as well.
Wow.
So it's a really, really spiritual experience for people who could get to that level.
So that's when you get the flow, but I mean, so that's literally when you're going through a certain course non-stop, I guess, overcoming a bunch of obstacles.
And you see it's just so fluid, and you're just totally immersed in the experience. Nothing else matters.
Until you hurt yourself and fall down. Then you're trying to get out of the moment, right?
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen. You see, I mean, there are things that, I mean, you look at it again, it looks very dangerous and everything. And I think that's actually one of the, I would say, one of the distractions from, or detractions from all these videos that are being posted up online, is that a lot of people, when they see it, they say, oh, wow, that's amazing, but that's not for me. Which is how I felt when, you know, I never entertained the idea of doing parkour until I was accidentally introduced into it.
Right.
So,
but then again, it also requires training, because these are moves that you shouldn't do just on the spur of the moment. You can actually hurt yourself quite badly if you don't do it correctly, right?
Absolutely. And the correct way of training is that you must condition your body first.
How long does it take? For example, what sort of training are we talking about?
Okay, well, I'd say there's like the two components of the training. Firstly, there's the strength and conditioning. So the Yamakasi, who started this many years ago, with David Bell being the father of it, they basically spend about 2 or 3 hours each training session just on conditioning, which is about building up your strength, building up your tendons, the strength of your tendons and your ligaments. So you really need to have total body conditioning before you start attempting really big jumps or anything that requires that, you know, it's very demanding discipline, so you need to do that. And that also minimizes injuries, because if your body's not ready for it and you try and do a really big movement, then obviously you're going to hurt yourself.
And remind people too that when they see the clips, I mean, the guys have practiced through those runs many times. It's not a one-off, you know, and many years.
And there's probably, they took a lot of takes. I mean,
probably, that's right.
Guaranteed.
To achieve that flow, that chi, you know. With this sport, how much of it is strength required, and how much of it is just, I mean, so the stronger guys fare better, or what? Okay,
strength, I think, obviously you do need to be strong, but it's more about coordination and engaging your whole body in a functional movement. Because if you take a gym person who goes to the gym, for example, they're just training on using muscles individually, you know, working on the biceps, working on the triceps. So they're maybe not as adapt to using the whole body as one, which is what parkour allows you to do.
Do you find, I'm sure a lot of young people actually take this up, do you find maybe women or girls also taking this up? Usually
Absolutely, absolutely. We just actually had an evening the other night, and I think half the class were females.
Really?
And they're having a great time. I think it's fantastic. I mean, we'd love more girls to join. Would you? Yourself?
Would it be an advantage if you're more flexible?
Yeah, well, I think, so obviously being a girl, you have some advantages and some disadvantages. And the advantage would be girls are generally more flexible.
Yep.
They generally have a better balance.
Ooh, yes.
For example, a lot of parkour stuff's like walking on rails and jumping onto rails. I was terrible at it. Yeah, but girls do it easily. They can do it first time.
You know, parkour sounds a lot like a local term, pak tor, right? Which means dating.
Yeah.
And it's very similar because...
I wish I was an expert on that.
But you see, it requires a physical sort of strength, agility. It's a mental game. And when you're in the flow, it's all go.
Wow,
it's all good, right? So it's like dating. It's like pak tor.
I think we should join forces and we could do the parkour pak tor academy.
You can go pak tor by going for parkour.
Okay, enough.
There you go.
Parkour and a pak tor expert. Anyways, we've been talking to Derek Su about the rising interest in parkour. It's a form of movement which uses your natural body skills, like jumping and climbing to navigate obstacles in your path. It's really to strengthen condition, not really with the ultimate motive to do something crazy.
No. It's all very well planned out. Just remember, don't try it out on your own at home.
Well
you do need to train yourself and do it under proper supervision.
You can find out more about the academy. It's at the website. It's superflymonkeydragons.com. Oh, I wonder where that came from.
Well, on that note, we're done for today. It is Monday, 19th November. Join us tomorrow. We've got lots of great stuff happening. Plus, of course, your daily dose of world and business news.